well, I don't know. At least right now, I'm not going to be like an extreme minimalist where, you know, I probably wouldn't have any of the stuff here behind me. I'd probably just have like current project needles, no bag. Like I don't even know. Hey everyone, my name is Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 67 of the Love and Stitches podcast. Today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. I am so happy to be back to podcasting. I only took 1 week off, but it felt like forever because typically I have 2 videos on this channel every week, and it was super weird last week not to have any videos going up. Don't you worry, I was recording videos along the way. Last week, if you didn't know, I took some time off to have what I named Design Week and work on my Love and Stitches knit and crochet designs. I'm gonna show you just a little bit today because I don't wanna spoil an upcoming video I have where I recorded all of Design Week and talked you through the process. So that's actually gonna be coming next week. So I don't wanna spoil that. Plus I have some things in the works that I just want to surprise you with. So be patient there. I did work on some whips, some personal things as well. So I do have plenty to talk about. First of all, I am wearing a knitted item that I made. This is the, I had to look it up. The scallop edge pullover from Knit Simple magazine 2008. I made this a long time ago. I turned it into a tank top. I think there's actually a crochet edging. It's just folding in here. It is like so stiff it could stand up on its own, but I still love this. I used a DK weight yarn on size 3 needles, so that is pretty tight. But I still love it. It's cute. It has a cute little edging. I had to do a split hem because even 12 years ago, I guess, when I started this, I still wasn't paying attention to my actual body and how it works and how it's smaller on the top and larger on the bottom. Still figuring that out today, so oh well. But yeah, I've been trying to wear more knitted stuff even in the summer, even though it's hot here in Dallas, Texas. It's been pretty much in the 90s every single day. I think starting tomorrow, it's gonna be upper 90s. Whew. So anyway, I'm gonna try to go as quickly as I can, which as you know is not very quick because I do have the air conditioning turned off so that it's not too loud. Of course, the unit is there outside, so you're gonna hear it anyway, but that's just fine. All right, so let's see, what can we get into first? Oh, hold on here. What am I doing? All right, so I have finished a couple things, well, half-finished things. You guys, I'm knitting socks again. Can you even believe it? I've finished 2 socks, not of the same pair though. So the first one is I think these were my May socks. I don't even know anymore. This must have been where I was a while back. But really the story is that I have 3 pairs of Chai-Gu red lace size 1 needles, and just about everything that I am currently working on uses those needles. So I had to finish some socks in order to free up the needles without having to transfer them. So finish some socks I did. So this is Mustache Yarns. The colorway is Jelly Belly, and this is the only one finished. I actually haven't even started the second one because again, I need the needles for something else. Then I started a new pair of socks since I've seen you last, or maybe I had already started them. I don't remember, but I finished one. This is also Mustache Yarn, and this colorway is The Boy Who Lived, and then this color is Weasley Burrow. So these are really fun because they're actually part of 2 different alongs. The first one is the Crazy Sock Lady Kay. She's having a, what's it called? Summer sock camp, I think. And that's going on throughout June and July. Go check it out on her channel and on her Ravelry group. But basically it's just, you know, knit as many pairs of socks as you want and you can enter to win prizes. So there's different cabins and I'm in the Magic Loop cabin because I knit my socks Magic Loop. I haven't finished a pair yet, but I have finished 1 sock, and actually the second one, I just started the toe this morning. you can just barely see. Well, I'm not quite on the toe decreases, but I just finished this stripe. So what I like to do is if I'm going to the end of a stripe before the toe, I'll do the last few rounds of the foot in my toe color, so then I don't have like a weird short stripe at the end. So yeah, here we go. I have an almost finished pair of socks after not finishing socks for like 3 months, so that feels pretty darn good. Oh, the other along. So on my other Instagram, all of this and that, myself and one of my friends, Carolyn, who is Basic Baha'i, we are hosting a Harry Potter summer reading challenge. So we are now on the 3rd book. It's the 3rd week, and I have been every morning going downstairs before I get to work. I am listening to Harry Potter, knitting on my Harry Potter socks. I guess I'm going to start knitting on other socks now that I'm almost finished with these, and just enjoying that first 30 to 45 minutes of my day. It's been really, really nice, and I love that I'm double dipping in the summer sock camp and a reading challenge. It's been a lot of fun. I've also been taking care to use my mini yarn cozies for my 20-gram skeins. I actually really like this because while it's totally not necessary to cake these, and it actually takes, for me, I feel like it takes a little bit of extra effort because I need to get my winder out and stuff, but I've actually really liked having them caked because now that they're in the cozies, they don't get tangled as much, and they're just like easier to put away. I don't know, I guess I like having the ball not like rolling around, so that's been really nice. I've appreciated those. I never did make another set of 50-gram mini yarn cozies in time to use for these, because now I'm done with this yarn. So that's okay. I'm going to be winding it up for scrappy projects in a little bit. Okay, I also have been fighting with my Lilium top. So Lilium is a tank top. Let me show it to you here. I'm sorry, it's a t-shirt, and I am knitting it out of, forgot about my labels here, oopsie, Darlin, which is Gritty Knits wool cotton base, 50% superwash merino, 50% cotton, in the colorway Josephine. And I really like this base. I think I would make other things out of it. It just feels really, really good. So here is Lilium. Isn't it cute? I would have put a lot, well, let me not lie. I thought I might put a lot more work into this, but I actually barely have worked on it at all because I was having some issues with the way it was fitting. I just wasn't too sure, and rather than knitting on it and just ignoring the problem, I thought, let me stop working on it for a little while and then come back to it. So I did, and I decided that I would give it one last chance. Basically, it was like bunching under the armholes. It wasn't quite fitting across the top. See how this tank top stops like before whatever these bones are? That's what it was doing, and it really needed to come like over the shoulder. So I thought I will put it all on waste yarn and I will block it. I first tried to do tried on tubing, which is a tubing you like stick on the tip of the needle and then slide your stitches on. And in theory, it works really well, but I had such a hard time trying to get stitches over the tubing because it basically creates like a little ridge right here that I gave that up, and those are gone. I'm not gonna use those anymore. It was way easier to get them back over onto the needle after that, but not onto the cord. So I don't know. Anyway, that's a side thought. But as you can see, or maybe you can tell that this has been blocked, I did stretch it a lot here and stretch it a lot in the armhole, and it fits a lot better. What I have learned from this already is that I really prefer a nice deep armhole. Like, this isn't even that deep. This Lilium comes up even higher. I like a nice deep armhole. That's just me. I already have made the armhole on this Lilium one size bigger, and I feel like I should have gone even bigger on that and made it deeper. So I think that's just a preference that I have, and unless the top is just fitting that way, I'm gonna have to add it in, which is not a big deal. So I am happier with it. So now I am continuing on in the body, and I don't know, I still haven't worked on it much because I've got some designs going, but it is there in a very easy place for me. I found it really hard when I picked Lilium back up onto the needles to figure out which ball of yarn was actually where I needed to start. Because I'm doing helical knitting, where we go. So I've got one ball of yarn here, and it looks like the other one is right here. And it was just really hard to tell where the beginning was. I did keep my markers. No, that's not true. I didn't put oh, I tied little thread into there to see where like my side seams were, but I didn't think to mark which one was the beginning of the round. So I just made an educated guess based off of the number of rounds after my last increase row, and I'm really hoping I got it right because I don't want it to be lopsided. Anyway, that's something to think about if you ever take something off the needles that has 2 balls of yarn and you're doing helical knitting. Maybe mark the one that you were just working with like a little piece of yarn like right there below where it is, so that you will remember where to start. I have a new whip that kind of started out as a design, but now I'm realizing it's not really enough of a pattern to be a design, and it is this. So this probably looks like a giant dishcloth because honestly that's pretty much what it is. I am holding together 3 strands of sugar and cream with a giant needle, and I am just doing garter stitch. So I did some swatching to figure out how big I wanted to make this. Pretty much made like a little coaster. Where is it? Right here. And then I measured, I want to make some placemats for our dining room table, and I wanted them to be bright white and simple. So I think this looks really, really good. If it turns out great, I will probably write it up and put it on my blog, which is why I'm not telling you all of the details right now. But I highly doubt that this will be a paid for pattern because it's too simple to even need that. So I don't have enough yarn. I love this color. This is actually the same color as this part of the float tote. I've just used this, so this has gotten a little grimy. But this colorway is, sorry, I keep moving. It's ecru. Now for sugar and cream, there is an ecru, which is the one that I like, and a soft ecru. Soft ecru is like more buttery and yellowy, and I do not like that one. I have a lot of it because I accidentally ordered it one time, but ecru is where it's at least for me. So I am making some placemats. So I don't have enough to make 4 placemats. So what I'm gonna do first is make this one with what I have, and this one is going to be Toasters. So Toaster actually needs another mat for underneath his dog bowls. If you have a dog or even a cat, like, you kind of need a mat on the floor because they splatter water. And Toasters was getting really gross. Like, even though we would wash it, it was kind of just getting honestly moldy. It was pretty gross. So I threw it away, and we've just been using dish towels, and I change them every week. So I'm gonna finish this up and use it for his dish bowls, and then they will match. And cotton washes so well, so I can wash it, every other week or so and just keep it nice and clean for him. So I'm excited about that. Haven't really done much more on it, but started out as a design and turned into just a personal project. And then once I finish up that one, eventually I'll order some more sugar and cream. I like to order it because then I know I get all the same dye lot from the company instead of going into a Michael's or a Joann's to find it. So I'll do that later. I'm not in a super huge rush, but I'm excited to make some home stuff for my house this summer. Now, as far as designs go, I do have one that has been sent out, or I'm sorry, the testing application has been put out. It is closed now, but if you want to be a test knitter or crocheter for me, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Knitty Natty because I'm gonna post the test there. This time I did it a little different. Like, I didn't make a big post about it, so I'm not sure how many people saw it, but I did put a lot of information in my stories. I let you guys know it was coming the next day. So make sure you're following me and also checking my stories for just about anything, because sometimes I share in different ways. But this is the newest design that is going to go out to testers on Friday. and this is the Skinny Can Cozy. So as you can see, I've got a skinny 12 fluid ounce can, and it's the same or similar design to my classic can and classic bottle cozies with these little sporty kind of stripes. Now I chose to do this one in super fun colors. These are actually leftover from my architectura shawl when I designed it. So this is Chili Knits yarn, Gouty and something about water. I can't remember. But that was really fun to design. I've made a couple of them. I have another one in the works because I'm probably going to have another design ready to test on Monday. So I do have more whips. I'm just not going to show you because they're all part of designs. And like I said, I want some things to have a little bit of an element of surprise. So that is a pattern. That's the only one that I have going into testing right now, but I kind of hope, like, since I had all this time to design last week, now every week I'm just focusing on bringing one design through to pattern testing and rolling things out from there. So stay tuned on Instagram for future test calls. Okay, now let's get into some questions. These are all from Ravelry. By the way, did you guys see that Ravelry has completely changed its look? Look at this. That doesn't look like Ravelry at all, does it? They just changed it this morning. I was using Ravelry to prepare for the podcast, and then I refreshed it and it was all different. And I was like, what in the world? Okay, so now actually it might take me a second because I need to find the groups because I need to get to my questions. Oh no. This is a little crazy. Let's see. What's my group called? Love in Stitches. If you have not already and you're a Ravelry user, come and join the Love in Stitches Ravelry group. It's linked in the description box, and especially coming up because we're going to have a knit along here soon, it will be more active. But if you ever have questions for me, you can go to the Love in Stitches Ravelry group and ask me in the question thread. Okay, I finally found my own group. All right, so I'm going to answer some questions. The first one is from Chima Knits, who is Chantal. She says, "Hi, Natalie." Oh, you know what? Actually, I read this one last time and I said I wasn't going to answer it yet, and there was a very good reason. So let me get right to her question. I remember you once mentioned with your knitting with your iPad. Do you mean that you follow the pattern on the iPad? Do you use a specific app for that? And when on the go, what do you use? My iPad is a little big to carry around and my phone may be a little bit small. Okay, so that is an excellent question, and I said I was going to get back to it because I knew that I was going to be doing a review of knitCompanion. You can see I have it right here. So let me just take a second to talk to you about knitCompanion, and I see that I've left my iPad right there, so I don't know. We're probably going to have 1,000,001 cuts on this podcast because I didn't bring everything with me. 1 second. Okay, so let me answer Chantal's question. So first of all, I do not print my patterns anymore. I don't even have a printer that's hooked up here in my house. I actually really don't like to use paper patterns anymore because I like to be able to zoom in on my patterns really, really big and to like highlight digitally. I don't know, I just have used that for a while. I was using a different app that was fine. I mean, I could highlight, I could do, I could make like tally marks, basically kind of draw on it like paper, but it didn't have anything specific for knitters. It wasn't a knitting or a crochet app. But then enters knitCompanion. So knitCompanion is an app. It is free. There's an Android and an Apple version. I have an iPad, so I have the Apple version. And then within the app, there's plenty of free features, but if you want the full app, there are some optional paid for features. So I have the paid for one, and it is so worth it because there's so many cool features in the paid for version. And again, I have an Apple device. I know there's a little bit of a difference between what the Android app offers and what the Apple app, is that what it is? The Apple app offers. However, I have some intel that more Android features may be coming soon, so just stay tuned for that. I also have a whole video on this. I'm just going to show you briefly here, but I'll link my video down below and you can go and watch that and see a whole lot more. So basically I have one of my own patterns pulled up here, my Skinny Can Cozy. It's a draft, so it doesn't look super great. But what's really cool about it is that while it has all like the draw tools, you can do highlights and stuff. What is going on with my eye? Look like puffy. It also has some highlighters here. Can you see those? So this one's like the row one, and I have made mine pink. They don't come that way. They're yellow and blue. I've made all of mine pink because I love pink. So this one's the row one, and then this one is a vertical one. So if you're doing a chart and you needed to get up mid-row, you could place that like literally right on the stitches wherever you were. But also if you're knitting columns, you can like put it over here. This is really hard to do backwards. Hold on, come here. I promise it's an easy app to use. You could put it over here while you're working column 1 and over here while you're working column 2. Some of the other cool things it has, I really like that all of the pages are up here on the top. So instead of swiping through, you can just touch the top. And then here I've created my, this is one of the features that you do need the paid for version for, but I have created myself a little like I can't remember what they're called, but basically you can set it up, and you can do this for the chart or you can do this for written instructions, where instead of having to move your highlight, you can just one tap markers. So I can just either tap here on the side, and you can hear it go boop, and it just moves along my rows, and it's changing colors because it's like right side and wrong side. And I don't know, it's really, really nice. And then you can see on the side here, it's like counting up for me. So it says I'm on row 11, but I've done 22 total rows, which I think is really, really cool. There are tons of other crazy, amazing features. I will link knitCompanion's website in the description box, so you can head over there and kind of watch through the tutorials and decide if it's an app that would work for you and which version of the app that you would like. But yeah, I will also link my video that talks a lot more about it, but I cannot believe that I have not had knitCompanion before, that I was just using like a basic, PDF reader app. And now I'm totally hooked on knitCompanion. It is absolutely amazing. What's funny is somebody else replied to Chantal in that thread and said, "Have you heard of knitCompanion?" I think that's so funny. Okay, so let's get to some other questions. This one is from Mara Girl 8. She says, or maybe it's a she, I don't know, I didn't look. Mara Girl, probably a she, right? Okay, she says, "Hi, I'm new to the group and love what you're doing. Just started to watch your YouTube channels and I love them. I have a question about your folding mat you use to block with. What is it and where can I find one? Also, what size is it? Your idea of using the folding mat along with the blocking squares is brilliant. Thanks for all the great ideas." Okay, so I have a huge foldable blocking mat. Basically, it's like, I got it at a yarn store, I don't even know how many, more than 10 years ago. And I looked it up, and actually I have exactly what it's called. It's called the Sew Easy board, and easy is literally the letters E and Z, Sew Easy board, and it's really made for sewing. It's gridded, it's a surface that you could iron on. I guess to explain the texture, it's not foam, it's more like, your dining room table, if you have one of those boards that goes on the top, it's a little more like that, but not velvety on the outside. And unfortunately, I don't think that they make Sew Easy boards anymore. I tried looking at lots of different places to see if I could find one to link for purchase, and I could not find one. So I'm afraid they're no longer making them. And so far I haven't found an equivalent. I haven't looked very hard, but if you guys find an equivalent for a Sew Easy board, let me know and I can include it in the links. But the size of it is 33 inches by 51 inches. So it's a little too short for shawls, because most shawls, especially the ones that I choose, are longer than 51 inches. But I do use it with my little foam squares, and that is perfect. Okay, next question is from Lanny129. Hi Natalie, I really enjoy your podcast. I am wondering if you've ever used helical knitting on smaller circumference projects like socks. Recently, my friend's mom passed away, and my friend gave me all of her mother's yarn and knitting and crochet supplies. My friend had asked me to knit her a pair of socks, and I happened to find commercial sock yarn in her mom's stash. I thought it would be great to use her mom's yarn to knit her socks. That is so sweet of you. I'm very sorry about your loss, and I love that you're able to use knitting to kind of bring back, or like for memories. I think that's great. Okay. However, there's not quite enough yarn for a complete pair, so I ordered another skein. I can tell by looking that the new skein is not the same. Will helical knitting work for socks, or do you have a different idea for how to make this work? Thank you for your help. Okay, so helical knitting is a technique to knit in the round with 2 or more colors, or basically just like 2 or more balls of yarn. So if you have hand-dyed yarns that don't quite match, or in this case, 2 yarns that are different dye lots, you can use it to, knit 1 round in 1 ball, 1 round in the next ball, but not have to carry them. It's very cool. I have a video. I'll make sure that it's linked. But yes, you can do helical knitting on socks. You can do helical knitting on sleeves. You can do helical knitting on hats. Anything pretty much you can do helical knitting on. The only thing you wouldn't be able to do it on is like something that's really, really small, like if it was an I-cord or you only had like 6 stitches, but a sock will be plenty of stitches in order for you to do helical knitting. So absolutely, I think that's a great idea to blend those yarns together and knit your friend some socks. That's very, very cool. All right, last one. I love this question, but I need a drink of water. Okay, looking at my time. Last question. This is from Nature's Cozy. Hey Natalie, I've really been enjoying your content on your second channel and wanted to ask, do you ever struggle with finding a balance between curating a more minimalist wardrobe and wanting to knit all the things? I love minimalism and I love creating a handmade wardrobe, but sometimes struggle with finding the balance between the two. Okay, so let me do some background there. If you don't know already, I have a second YouTube channel called This and Nat. And this is more of a lifestyle channel, but it's mostly focused on cleaning and organization, another passion of mine. So yesterday on that channel, I shared my video of cleaning out my closet and doing something called Project 333, where I chose 33 items to wear for 3 months. And now this doesn't include like undergarments and pajamas and workout clothes, but that's actually why I'm wearing this today, because this is one of my items. I realized I wasn't wearing my summer knits, and so I included them. Basically, I like to wear t-shirts all the time, which is fine, but I wanted to wear my knits more. So you're probably gonna see this a few more times in the next couple of months. But I love that question, because I am focusing on being more minimal. I wouldn't say I'm ever, well, I don't know. At least right now, I'm not going to be like an extreme minimalist where, I probably wouldn't have any of the stuff here behind me. I'd probably just have like current project needles, no bag, like I don't even know. But I'm going to be focused on more realistic minimalism and just minimizing in general. And my closet was one of those places that I wanted to start. So the question is, how do you balance minimalism with also handmade items? So I would say a couple years ago, I would never ever dream of getting rid of anything that I had made myself. You're a knitter or a crocheter, most likely, if you're watching this, and you know the time that goes into making things. And it's just hard to imagine after you've spent 60, 70 hours and money on something that you would then get rid of it at some point. But now my views on that have changed. Now I'm starting to think of my handmade items as more of like clothing. I mean, that's what they are, even my shawls and hats. And clothing goes in and out of style. Your tastes for clothing change. And it's absolute, like you wouldn't really think that much about getting rid of a store-bought shirt that you've had for 8 years. So to me, some of my knitted items are starting to become that. If I am like, you know what, I'm really not wearing this shawl anymore, I don't feel like pain inside anymore to say, you know what, let me pass that on to a friend. Let me give that to somebody else. So I actually did get rid of quite a few shawls that I wasn't wearing, and some of them I made even last year. What I'm learning now is how to make things that I know I'm probably going to wear. I can't always do it perfect, but I'm trying to be better about choosing colors, choosing shapes, shawls and garments, and just choosing things that I know will be like my current style. So I am minimizing my stash. As you can see, this is most of my yarn back here. I'm going to be working more on my yarn room. I'm actually looking around and I have been clearing some stuff out today. So as I buy more, I haven't been buying a lot of yarn, but as I buy more, I'm making sure that it fits my colors that I like and things that I want to make. And then if you haven't seen already my planning my summer projects video, I'm going to be doing that for fall. And I love this question so much because it's actually been things that I've been thinking about. For fall, I am going to look at my wardrobe before I look at my pattern choices. And I'm going to make some garment choices. Well, probably one. Realistically, I'll probably only make one sweater, but I'm going to be looking at how I can replace something in my wardrobe with something hand knitted that I will actually wear. So that's why I've got a lot of gray. I love wearing gray. So I guess to find the balance is be realistic about what you actually wear. Sometimes it's really tempting to knit things that are trendy. And if that's your style, then perfect, you knit those things. But if it's not your style, it's absolutely okay. You can knit things that are maybe simpler or honestly, sometimes I feel like the things I will actually wear are more boring because they're plainer, the colors are more muted. Where I have fun, I think, is in like socks and accessories, and I try to keep my wardrobe simple colors so that I can have fun with my accessories and change those out. So I don't know if that really answered the question, but I hope in a roundabout way it did, and it's also something I've been thinking about a lot lately. All right, so let's talk about some news. So this week I have a new video about KnitCompanion. I talked about it just a little bit ago. So if you're interested in KnitCompanion, and it's not just for knitters, it's also for crocheters, check out their website linked below, and then also my video. It's part like review of the app, but part mini tutorial, and you get to see a lot of the features that come with that paid for version. So go check it out. I think you'll be at the very least intrigued and hopefully very interested in trying out the app. I love it. This past weekend we did a Worldwide Knit in Public Day Instagram live. It was very fun, very casual, and yeah, it was like less planned than I usually do for YouTube. So it was just kind of a chat back and forth, me talking and you guys chatting, and it was really great. So that was a lot of fun. Stay tuned because we are coming up midway on the month. I'll probably have a YouTube live here sometime towards the end of the month. And then coming up on next week, I'm gonna have a video about my past week, so all about my designs and stuff. So that's why I'm not taking time to talk about them today, because it will be in next week's video. So definitely keep your notifications on for that. I think I'll do it as a premiere because I think it will be a fun one to chat about. So I might make it a little later in the day, maybe like noon or so. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. So watch out on Instagram because I will announce that there. Okay, as far as life is going, I am working my tail off. And I know you might be saying, working, Natalie, what are you talking about? You're a teacher. How could you be working in the summer? Well, I am working harder than ever. I actually just this week adjusted my schedule to work for longer during the day. If you do want to see my summer schedule as like a teacher on summer break, but what I'm actually doing running 2 small businesses, I have that again on my other YouTube channel, This and That. So go over there and you can check out my summer routine. But yes, I am working super hard to try to launch or try to just push these 2 businesses, which is this one here, Love and Stitches, and then my other one, This and That, trying to put as much work into them while I can before I do have to go back to my day job in the fall. And I don't know, it's been really good. My husband Kent also works from home and he has a side hustle as well. And so we've just been, really motivating each other to like put in long hours and work hard. We have no kids, we just have toasters. So it's been good. We're at a good place where we can invest that time into hopefully what will become our future businesses. That's really the dream. So other than that, around my house, I've been doing some crazy decluttering. If you are interested in that, you can also see that on my other YouTube channel. So lots of fun. Don't worry, there will be some decluttering here soon as I finish up my yarn room. I'm actually hoping to do a big majority of that today. I've already started this morning, and looking out, what you can't see right now is complete chaos. So I'm hoping to get that cleaned up, and that video will be coming on down the line. Okay, what else? Oh, I think the last thing here is just bringing me joy, and honestly, decluttering is bringing me joy. I'm sure maybe you have experienced this, but when you like see that drawer or that like pile in the corner, like maybe you're not consciously thinking about it, but every time you walk by, you're like, that's trouble over there. And then you finally take, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to tidy it up. And then every time you walk by that corner or drawer, you're like, that looks so good. It feels so nice. So that's kind of what's been going on here in my house. I've done my pantry, I've done my closet, I just did my bathroom, I've done our living room and kitchen. All of those videos are going to be over on my other channel, because not only now do I get to do the decluttering that I like, I also get to share it with other people and hopefully at least entertain them, if not inspire them to do some decluttering of their own. And then I'm also doing my yarn room. So no stone left unturned here. I'm decluttering the entire house, and it's been good. Mostly Kent is, I've been doing like our stuff and my stuff, but not his stuff, because I don't feel like I should declutter his stuff because it's his. And so for the most part with the our stuff, Kent has been really, really great in pitching in as far as like opinions and help to get rid of things. I just moments ago sold my first thing online, which I was super excited about. Usually I just take things to Goodwill because either they're not worth the effort of selling, or maybe they're not even good enough to go to Goodwill. But I did have something I felt I could sell, and I sold it. I was so excited. I was nervous, but it worked out great. So there's a few more things I'm going to be trying to sell here, and then reinvest that money into another furniture item that I want to get. Yay! I'm so excited about it. So that's what's really been going on in my life. Designing, knitting socks like crazy while I'm reading Harry Potter, and decluttering. That's pretty much what summer has looked like here in our household. But I am excited to keep sharing more fun things here on Love and Stitches. I missed you guys last week, and I am so happy to be back. Anyway, go check out that knitCompanion review. Make sure you're here next Tuesday for the Design Week video. And other than that, I will just see you guys on the next podcast. Bye. Hi, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? You're so cute, buddy.